Hello students, I am Mrs. Rupali Samir Brahme from Ferguson College of Tech and Education Society, Pune. Students, we are going to learn chapter 4 today, that is emerging technologies. The new emerging technologies like AI, IoT, 5G and cloud computing, artificial intelligence, fifth generation cellular network technology, what is Internet of Things. So all we are going to learn basics of all these concepts in this chapter. So let us begin with the presentation for learning these points. So students, let us begin with the presentation with the points AI, IoT, cloud computing and 5G are the emerging technologies. One by one we will see the concepts of all these. So let us begin with the first concept, that is Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is the network of physical devices or vehicles, home appliances or other atoms embedded with the electronics or software, sensors, actuators and connectivity. So this is the definition of IoT, and if you may find the diagram on your screen. So this diagram itself indicates that there is a connectivity between various devices. So students, over here observe the diagram over here. The vehicles as well as home, your devices like mobile, desktop or laptop are all interconnected with the connectivity. So that is the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is nothing but various kinds of devices, including database, including the mobile device, your camera, your laptop or maybe other devices are all connected to each other. That may include the physical devices like your home, your vehicles and so on. So students, what are the advantage of IoT? So advantages are listed in front of you, which are listed in your textbook also. These are very important for the examination for descriptive kind of questions. Students, first advantage is efficient resource utilization. Second is minimize human effort. Third is time saving. Enhanced data collection is the next advantage, and improve security is one more advantage of IoT. Just assume the efficient resource utilization means what? Suppose you are at office and you have just remembered that your fan is on, then directly by a smart device you can switch off your fan, or you can switch off your light, you can switch off your tap, or you can just observe on your mobile, you can see your home. So here these things can matter and that will save your time. Obviously your resources are getting used efficiently. Students, minimum human effort, obviously my efforts will be reduced by using IoT technique. So as devices can interact with each other and communicate with each other, lots of tasks can be reduced by using the IoT technique. Students, there are many automated machines which are controlled by using IoT technique. So obviously, because of the minimum human efforts, time is saved. So this is a primary factor of automation which saves the time of the human efforts. Enhanced data collection. IoT devices can collect the data like weather, sound and pollution. So such data, instead of collecting it manually by spending lots of hours, you can find the IoT will give you such kind of a data collection, huge data collection, and that data can be processed further for getting more results and more accurate reports for maybe some predictions and all that. So here, improve security. Suppose by looking at your home, by sitting in the office, you will find that it is secure, then that will be improving the security of your home, maybe of your office. Students, if you look at your home by sitting at office, obviously you will find it more secure, but in that case your privacy reduces for your home. So that is the disadvantage of IoT, that when it increases the security, obviously the privacy gets reduced. So this is the point which I have mentioned in the disadvantages, that privacy is reduced because of the IoT. Even without the active participation of the user, the IoT system provides you the personal data in the maximum level. So that reduces the privacy of the users. Complexity. The designing and developing and maintaining the large technology to IoT system is quite complicated because so many things are interacting with each other. So these are the disadvantages of IoT. You need to remember for the examination, maybe for 2 mark question may come for on it, that what are the disadvantages of IoT, or maybe the what are the advantages of IoT. For 2 marks in question number 7, the question may come on it. So students, you may have the question on what are the applications of IoT in question number 7. So you need to remember all these applications of IoT. Just now we have discussed that if lights are on at your home and you are at office, you remember lights are on, you can switch off it by using simple apps of mobile. So that is the smart lighting. Illumination of light is controlled on the basis of daylight also you can do. For example, if day starts automatically, your lights will be switched off, and if in the evening, that will be automatically on. So such kind of smart lighting can be done by using IoT. Even smart thermostats allows users to schedule or monitor remotely home control temperatures also you can manage at your home. Smart locks, garage door openers, even when your car is in front of the garage, your door of the garage will be open automatically through some of the apps like using which uses IoT technique. And password based facial recognition also will be there when you will be in front of your door at your home. So automatically it will open the door for you. You need not have to have the physical key for opening the door. So that is a smart lock for which uses IoT techniques. Student, one more very important advantage is smart traffic signal. Instead of controlling the traffic physically, there can be a smart traffic signals, the signals that can adjust their timings to accommodate and computes and holiday traffic and keep cars moving. So if it is holiday, the signals timing will be reduced. If it is morning time, if there is less traffic, then in that case, again the signal time will be reduced. So such smart traffic signaling can be done by using IoT. Students, let us see the cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of computing resources like network, servers, storage, applications, and services related with the service provider interaction. Students, cloud computing basically provides you network, server, storage, and applications as well as services. So these are given in the cloud computing. So what are the models of the cloud computing? Let us see. These are the 3 models of cloud computing. First is as IaaS, second is PaaS, PaaS, and third is SaaS. Now over here, as what it means, infrastructure as a service. This is platform as a service and software as a service. These are the 3 models of cloud computing. Students, do remember these 3 models for the examination, which are very important for multiple choice questions, what as and PaaS and SaaS is. You need to remember the examples and the concepts of all these 3 as well. So infrastructure as a service, let us see what is IaaS. So IaaS gives users to access storage, networking, servers, and other computing resources via the cloud. Means if you have the internet connection, these resources will be provided to you. And in the diagram we have seen who uses mostly IT administrators require it because they need the hardware part, it is at the base it comes, and storage, networking, servers they need as the physical resources, and that will be provided via a cloud to companies. So that comes as infrastructure as a service. They are providing infrastructure of a storage, of a networking, and of servers to the companies or to users. Instead of purchasing a new hardware, it's always go for the infrastructure as a service. So instead of having investment in the hardware, users can pay for the as on demand, that is infrastructure as a service as a demand. Observe over here three layers of the models of cloud computing. At the base, there is as over here. Now here if you observe over here, infrastructure as a service, then this is used by IT administrator, whereas this is used by software developer, and third is everybody is having Gmail account, so Gmail users we are, so Office 365, Google Docs, so end users uses software as a service. So these are the three layers. I can say this is the hardware part, this is the software development platform, it provides for you platform as a service, and over here software as a service. Now let us see one by one each model. So infrastructure as a service, what it means, in IaaS gives users access to storage, networking, servers and other computing resources via the cloud. So whenever I am having a company, so instead of purchasing hardware and investing money in the hardware and maintenance of the hardware, what I will just pay for a as means infrastructure as a service. So on my demand, it will be provided via the cloud. Infrastructure is the scalable depending on the processing and storage needs. Students, remember, though we are opting the infrastructure as a service, whatever the contents of that, maintaining the contents inside the storage will be the responsibility of the end user. So enterprises saves the cost for buying and maintaining their own hardware. Instead of that, they just have the storage, networking, server, everything by using the infrastructure as a service. So this is the model of the cloud computing, that infrastructure as a service. And if the question comes, write short note on infrastructure as a service or as these points you may write for 2 marks. Students, next is what are the key features for the infrastructure as a service. So instead of purchasing hardware, users can pay for the as on demand. Infrastructure is scalable depending on the processing and storage needs. Enterprises saves the cost. It is important. It is saving the cost for buying and maintaining the own hardware. And which are the service providers for this infrastructure as a service? If you want to have infrastructure as a service, you can opt it from Amazon Web Services, that is AWS, or even EC2, that is also a Amazon service. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute. Microsoft Azure also provide the infrastructure as a service, Microsoft Azure VM. Google Compute Engine, GCE, also provides the infrastructure as a service. Students, do remember all these examples for online examination, because in multiple choice 2 correct answers or 3 correct answers, these providers will be listed which provides infrastructure as a service, and they will ask you which are the examples of infrastructure as a service. So these examples you must remember for the examination. Students, let us see platform as a service. When the programmers need to do the programming, they will need some platform. Such platform, if you want to opt, such platform will be provided by platform as a service cloud computing model. Cloud platform performs services known as platform as a service. The delivery model of the PaaS is similar to SaaS. Now, software as a service. What is the difference between SaaS and PaaS? Here, the difference is, instead of delivering the software over the internet, platform as a service provides platform for software creation. End user doesn't create the software. What end user do? They just uses your software. For example, Office 365 or Gmail users, they just make use of the Gmail account. They don't create any kind of a software. But whereas softwares, if they want to create their own software, then this platform as a service is required for software creation. What they need? the service provider will give you. So platform as a service, when you are opting, the service provider will offer you access to the cloud-based environment in which users can develop, manage and deliver applications. So this is all about required by the programmer specifically, or software developers we can say. So whatever there is a requirement, that requirement is fulfilled by platform as a service in the cloud computing. In addition to the storage and other computing resources, the users, means the programmers, are able to use the suite of the pre-built tools to develop, customize and test their own applications. So while developing the application, customizing the application, they need to test it, and for that this platform as a service will help you out. So this is all about platform as a service. Now what are the key features of the platform as a service? Platform as a service provides a platform with tools, this is important, tools to test, develop and host applications in the same environment. In the same environment, programmer can write the code, can develop the code, can test the code and host their applications by using the platform as a service. This service enables organization to focus on development without having worry about underlying infrastructure. Even the company is not having any kind of infrastructure for the development of the programs, they can make use of the platform as a service. It manages security, operating system also it provides server softwares, and as well as very important part is it provides the backups also, means your programs or your development code will be backed up by the platform as a service providers. It also facilitates collaborative work even if the team works remotely, means if your programmers are located at various cities, no problem with that. Platform as a service will provide the service at various cities or various even countries. Which are the examples of platform as a service providers? So AWS, Elastic Beanstalk, Windows Azure, Heroku, Force.com, Google App Engine, Apache Stratos and OpenShift. So these are not mentioned in your textbook, but still you need to remember all this, note down all these providers. It has been mentioned that you are supposed to find out, but here I am providing you that you can note down the examples of platform as a service providers which are there on your screen. Students, let us go for the third part of the cloud computing model, that is a SaaS, means software as a service. So a service provider delivers a software and applications through the internet. For example, Gmail is providing you a inbox. So maybe Office 365 is providing you Word, Excel and PowerPoint. So all these are the softwares which you are using. So users do not have to install applications. If you want to make use of Office 365, you need not have to have Office installed on your computer. So users not to have the software on their local device, means your computer may not have the software. Still you can use it because it is a web-based application. So instead the applications resides on the remote cloud network accessed through the web, means you can access the Office through the web or via an API. Students, what are the key features of that? The question may come again for 2 marks. So for software as a service, the software as a service vendors provides users with the softwares. So means Gmail is providing you the softwares like Google Docs and all that. Office 365 is providing Word, Excel or PowerPoint and so on. So these are providing you the softwares and applications via subscription model. Users do not have to manage or install or upgrade the software. It will be upgraded automatically and that will be provided to you via a cloud. SaaS provides to manage this because they will take care of updation and installation and all that at their end. So you have to just visit via a web. Data is secure in the cloud. Equipment failure does not result loss of data. This is very important because user wants this. use of resources can be scaled depending on the service needs. In case of software as a service, applications are accessible from almost any internet connection device. So you can connect via a mobile, or you can connect via a tablet, you can connect via a desktop or any kind of a device, and virtually anywhere in the world. That is very important, because once you are taking a software as a service, that is accessible from anywhere in the world. What are the examples? So Google G Suite, just now we have seen, GitHub, SAP, Slack, Dropbox. These are the examples of software as a service. So note down these examples, that these examples may come for 2 correct answer or 3 correct answer for the examination. So students, we have just seen the 3 parts: software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service, one by one. So let us see what are the types of cloud computing. First type is public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Student, public cloud, obviously you can see in the diagram that it is for the public. Private means it is for personal or individual. And what is hybrid? Hybrid is a combination of private cloud plus public cloud. So this is a combination of both, is a hybrid. So these are the 3 types of cloud computing. What public cloud and private cloud and hybrid cloud means? Let us see one by one. Let us see first what is a public cloud. In the public cloud, all the services and supporting infrastructure are managed off-site over the internet and shared across multiple users. This is important over here. There are many users for the infrastructure. Public clouds are more efficient and inexpensive, because it is a public and it is shared. That's why it is inexpensive than the private. And hybrid cloud also is more expensive than this public cloud. Which are the examples of public cloud? Amazon AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform. These are the providers for public cloud. What does the public cloud means? This is a storage which will be provided, or storage or infrastructure will be provided to you for the public it is. Okay. Now what about private cloud? Private cloud is more secure. It has firewall. It is protected behind the firewall. That's why it's more secure. Private cloud provides IT services through the internet or a private network. This is important. It's a private network will be provided to you. Private network to selected users rather than general public. So obviously it is a private network, so cost will be more than the public cloud. All the data is protected behind the firewall, so it's more secure. Private cloud solutions are preferred for enhanced security and privacy of the user. So what is hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud is a combination of public and private cloud elements. This you are supposed to remember for the examination, what it is a combination of private and public cloud. So these 3 cloud types you are going to remember for the examination: private, public, and hybrid. The clouds in a hybrid environment communicate over the encrypted connection and allow for the portability of data and application. Hybrid cloud allows you greater flexibility as compared to the public and private cloud solutions. Now, what are the benefits of cloud computing? Cloud computing is cost saving. Why cost saving? Because you need not have to invest for actual infrastructure, the hardware part. So that setup is done by the cloud computing. So it is a cost saving. Second thing, it's a reliable. Your cloud computing solutions are more reliable than your in-house IT infrastructure. Your hardware part will not be there so at your place, so obviously it's more reliable. What is mobility? At any place you go over in the world, you will find the cloud computing available over there with the internet connection. So cloud computing solutions are more portable because the access is anytime and anywhere as required. So these are the 3 very important points as benefits of cloud computing. Student, the question may come for 2 marks, like what are the benefits of cloud computing in question number 7. So you need to remember all these points for the examination. So let us go for the last point, that is a 5G technique. So what is 5G? That is fifth generation technique. Students, we have not gone through AI, that is the artificial intelligence. You have to go through the textbook because that is not there in the year 2021 for the examination. So for 5G techniques, let us see what is 5G technique. 5G is the fifth generation cellular network technology. You need to remember this for the true false statement or maybe for the short note. What is 5G? 5G is the next generation wireless communication. It is expected to provide the internet connection that are multiple times faster. Multiple times, the word is multiple times faster than 4G. So students, 5G technology may use variety of spectrum bands including millimeter wave, radio spectrum, which can carry very large amount of data at a storage distance. Students, as it uses a radio spectrum, obviously the drawback comes along with that the drawback of higher frequencies, they are getting affected because of the buildings, trees, other foliage, and even changes in the weather will get affected for this. This is the introduction about the fifth generation. So what are the features of 5G? Let us see. So these are the 5 features listed in your textbook, so may come for the examination. So Ultra HD videos, as you have just seen, that features of 5G is much more faster. Here you have seen it's much more faster than 4G. So obviously Ultra HD videos can be released. Higher speed of data transfer, because of high speed of data transfer, videos can be downloaded faster and data you can download much more faster than 4G. Reduced website loading time, as data transfer speed is very high, obviously website will be loaded very fast, and as well as your apps also you can download in very less time. So IoT based applications also can be used along using the 5G techniques, because IoT based techniques requires much more speed for using them. So let us see what are the applications of 5G. So these are the 3 applications of 5G technology. So online 5G games you can play. There are automated machines which are connected with the 5G technologies, and obviously the virtual classroom, the teacher will be at some place and you will be attending the class at your home or maybe at any place anywhere in the world. So that virtual classroom also you can attend virtually, similar to your physical classroom. You will be in front of the teacher and the teacher will be explaining you some concepts and you can ask queries, and that can be interactive in the virtual classroom. So these are the 3 very important applications of 5G. So students, we have seen emerging technologies today. We have seen what is cloud computing. We have seen as SaaS and PaaS. Means what? Infrastructure as a service, so platform as a service, and software as a service. So these 3 things we have seen as models of cloud computing. Students, we have also discussed the 5G technology and we have discussed IoT, that is Internet of Things. So these are all are things in your emerging technologies chapter. So here we are going to conclude this chapter today. Thank you.